Ukraine destroys Russia's A-60 laser jet and A-100 AWACS in $90 million blow. Today, a coordinated series of Ukrainian long-range drone strikes reached deep into Russian territory, marking one of the most extensive overnight operations conducted in recent months. The attacks targeted critical nodes of Russia's military and industrial infrastructure across several regions, demonstrating a sustained Ukrainian effort to degrade Russia's early warning aviation capabilities, electronic warfare manufacturing capacity, and air defense systems. The cumulative impact of the strikes, which Ukrainian analysts later estimated at more than $90 million in losses, raised new concerns within Russia regarding the security of high-value assets located far from the front. The earliest confirmed strike occurred at approximately 12:45 a.m., when Ukrainian drones penetrated deep into the Chuvashia Republic. Their primary objective was the Progress military-industrial plant in the city of Cheboksary, positioned nearly 1,000 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. The facility is known for manufacturing Comet and COMTM satellite signal receiver modules, components used across a wide range of Russian precision-guided munitions and reconnaissance platforms. These include Kalibr cruise missiles, Iskander-M ballistic missiles, Iskander-K cruise missiles, Banderol series guided munitions, and navigation packages integrated into several UAV platforms such as the Orlan 10, Harpy A1, and Orion drones. The receivers produced at the plant enhance resistance to jamming, spoofing, and electronic disruption, making them an increasingly important part of Russia's long-range strike capability. At 1:10 a.m., Ukrainian kamikaze drones reached the industrial perimeter of the Progress complex. Moments later, explosions were recorded inside several key structures. Local authorities confirmed that a fire had broken out following the strike, and that at least 2 individuals were injured. In the immediate aftermath, Cheboksary Airport temporarily halted operations, reflecting concerns that additional waves of drones might be approaching, or that the airspace could not be reliably secured. Although regional officials attempted to limit public discussion of the attack's significance, the strike represented at least the second known Ukrainian operation targeting the plant in recent months. Its recurrence highlighted concerns within Russia about the vulnerability of deep rear industrial hubs that support long-range precision weapons production. By 2 a.m., attention shifted south to Russia's Rostov region, where a separate Ukrainian drone assault struck the TNTK aircraft repair and modernization plant in Taganrog. Satellite images circulating on social media later confirmed that the attack damaged 2 rare Russian aircraft stationed at the facility. The first, an A-60 airborne laser aircraft, was a highly specialized platform designed for research into airborne laser systems capable of disabling satellite sensors or interfering with aircraft optics. The loss of this platform represented a disruption to a long-running Russian program that had required substantial investment and decades of development. The second aircraft damaged in the strike was an A-100 long-range airborne early warning and control aircraft, intended to serve as a next-generation replacement for the aging A-50U fleet. Designed to coordinate radar coverage, manage aerial operations, and detect incoming threats at extended range, the A-100 plays a central role in Russia's air surveillance modernization plans. Its disabling significantly affected Russia's ability to maintain consistent early warning coverage in the southern military district. The TNTK facility itself sustained structural damage, including to its final assembly workshop. Because the plant is responsible for the maintenance, repair, and modernization of specialized airborne radar aircraft, the attack introduced new complications into Russia's efforts to sustain and upgrade its airborne early warning fleet. Satellite imagery also indicated damage to a nearby S-400 air defense battery positioned to protect the facility. Although the full extent of the battery's impairment remained unclear, its proximity to the aircraft repair center suggested that Ukrainian planners intended to degrade both the aircraft and the air defense systems guarding them. Following the strikes, Rostov Governor Yuri Slusar issued a statement acknowledging that the region had been targeted overnight. He reported damage to residential buildings, a warehouse, and an external gas pipeline, confirming 3 fatalities and 8 injuries. However, he made no reference to damage sustained by the aircraft, the TNTK facility, or the S-400 system. This limited disclosure aligned with a broader pattern in Russian public messaging in which officials acknowledged peripheral effects of strikes, while omitting mention of military losses or vulnerabilities. At 3:20 a.m., Ukrainian drones reached the Krasnodar region. Local authorities described the attack as one of the longest and most sustained since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. According to regional reports, more than 20 homes were damaged, and emergency crews were dispatched to contain fires and structural damage caused by falling debris. While statements from Russian officials largely focused on residential impact, independent channels indicated that several industrial and military support facilities in the region may have included military support facilities as part of Ukraine's broader effort to disrupt Russian logistics. Krasnodar serves as a significant transit corridor for fuel, ammunition, and equipment, moving toward occupied territories in southern Ukraine, making it a consistent focal point for Ukrainian long-range strikes. As daylight broke, the operational narrative shifted eastward toward the Donetsk region, where Ukrainian ground forces intensified their ongoing urban operations inside the embattled city of Pokrovsk. Overnight footage posted on social media showed assault groups from the 425th Separate Assault Regiment, commonly known as the Scala Regiment, advancing into the western districts of the city. Geolocated visuals confirmed the presence of Ukrainian troops near a signpost marking the entrance to Pokrovsk. Throughout the morning, Ukrainian assault teams continued methodical clearing operations, moving block by block to pressure Russian defensive positions. Their priority was to retain control over the northern and central axes of the city, areas essential for preventing Russian reinforcement routes from stabilizing. As Pokrovsk functions as a logistical hub connecting multiple supply lines, progress in these sectors carries significant operational importance. Ukrainian forces aimed to deny Russia the ability to regroup or establish a cohesive defensive line. At approximately 9:30 a.m., Ukrainian Special Operations Forces, working alongside the 3rd Regiment, conducted a targeted raid on the outskirts of the city. The operation resulted in the elimination of several Russian soldiers and the capture of at least one. The objective of these raids was twofold: to disrupt localized Russian command structures by targeting small unit leadership, and to gather actionable intelligence from captured personnel. Information extracted from such operations can influence subsequent Ukrainian maneuvers, revealing details about Russian communication patterns, defensive intentions, and supply constraints. Meanwhile, Russian sources published footage purporting to show soldiers moving through empty streets in southern areas of Pokrovsk. Although the images suggested freedom of movement, analysts assessing the material concluded that the scenes did not reflect sectors where active fighting was taking place. Instead, the footage likely captured less contested areas away from the western and central districts, where Ukrainian units remained engaged. This contrasted with battlefield reports indicating that Ukrainian forces continued to maintain firm defensive and offensive pressure across several blocks. As midday approached, Ukrainian drone teams intensified their role in the Pokrovsk battle. Small quadcopter and fixed-wing drones were observed striking Russian ammunition points, vehicles attempting to maneuver between alleyways, and isolated infantry groups attempting to regroup. These drone operations restricted Russian mobility and forced Russian personnel to disperse into smaller, fragmented pockets to avoid concentrated losses. As a result, Russian units found it increasingly difficult to mount coordinated counteractions or move reinforcements across exposed intersections. By early afternoon, Ukrainian officials released updated assessments, indicating that Russian losses over the previous 24 hours exceeded $90 million. This estimate included the destruction of the A-60 airborne laser aircraft, damage to the A-100 early warning aircraft, impairment of the S-400 air defense components near Taganrog, and losses sustained at the Progress military-industrial plant. Compared to typical daily attrition rates, these losses were unusually high and targeted capabilities that Russia cannot easily replace or repair. As the day progressed, Ukrainian forces in Pokrovsk continued advancing through western and central districts. Their movement remained deliberate, prioritizing the preservation of personnel in dense urban terrain. Rather than rapid breakthroughs, Ukrainian units advanced incrementally, clearing buildings, consolidating gains, and then pushing forward again. This pattern reflected a broader approach to urban warfare, focused on maintaining momentum while avoiding overextension. Across the front, Ukrainian commanders evaluated the combined effect of the deep rear strikes and ground operations. The long-range drone attacks had impaired components of Russia's early warning system and air defense coverage, creating potential windows for subsequent UAV or missile operations. Simultaneously, progress at Pokrovsk placed direct pressure on Russian frontline forces, particularly those relying on consistent resupply through contested corridors. By 7:15 p.m., Ukrainian analysts released a consolidated situational report summarizing the day's developments. It noted that Russia had lost significant electronic warfare components, a uniquely configured airborne laser aircraft, an advanced airborne early warning platform, and infrastructure critical to early warning maintenance. These losses, combined with ongoing pressure in Pokrovsk, suggested a broader Ukrainian strategy aimed at simultaneously degrading Russia's technological edge and constraining its ability to sustain frontline operations. The events of the day illustrated the growing complexity of Ukraine's operational approach. Long-range drone strikes targeting technological enablers deep inside Russia, paired with coordinated ground offensives designed to reclaim contested urban terrain. As Russia continued to face challenges in protecting deep rear assets while maintaining defensive lines along the front, Ukraine appeared to widen its operational influence across multiple theaters. The developments raised ongoing questions about how Russia would respond to a battlefield environment in which its advanced systems, industrial assets, and frontline positions faced simultaneous and sustained pressure.